What's going on, everybody? It's D Got Sense back with episode 11. And the topic of discussion for today is the true measure of a man. And first off, we got to establish who even defines the true measure of a man. And that is none other than Yahya, the creator. Um, Man doesn't define what a real man is because men are led by their own morals and their own compass, which changes with the wind, right? Men can be tempted of women, men can be tempted of money, men can be tempted of anything that pleases the five senses, right? So even man doesn't define what his true standard is, right? And so if man ain't doing it, woman shouldn't be doing it either. So y'all boys got to stop running around letting Eve guide y'all about what you need to be doing. That's how you're gonna get caught up in the first place. To give not thy strength unto a woman, and give it away to that which destroyeth kings. It's anti-biblical to be a sucker. Um, you feel what I'm saying? You don't look upon a woman's beauty. You look past that. You know what I'm saying? You got to look into the true measure of her character, and that goes for everything. So, with that being said, stop letting women tell y'all who you supposed to be, and start looking within. But with that being said, it's time to get into the video. So we're gonna touch on like three topics: physical, financial, and then spiritual. So physically speaking, the true measure of a man is you need to be physically fit. If like here's my thing, right? If you don't have some autoimmune disease or some serious physical ailment that's causing you to be like literally incapable of reaching peak physical condition, then that's a whole nother monster. But even you can do something to some capacity, you see what I'm saying, to better yourself physically, right? Um, we always talk about provide and protect, right? And here's the thing: you can't protect nothing if you aren't capable of nothing. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes out here that can't do 10, 20 pull-ups, regardless of age. Because if you go online and type in calisthenics, older men calisthenics, you gonna see some. You gonna not a whole bunch of them when you look at popular like percent to population, but there's older dudes, man. They 50s banging out 20 pull-ups, dudes in their 60s, 70s. So the human body is a well oiled and refined machine and is capable of great things. But the problem is you got too many dudes running around with some excuse, with the excuse of they don't have the time. They don't have the time. It don't take nothing but 10 seconds to push the earth. You see what I'm saying? It don't take no time to eat fruits and vegetables and fast if need be, both for spiritual reasons and for like health benefits. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes out here that can't throw a punch, right? No wonder you scared of confrontation, nigga. You don't know what to do with yourself if it ever came to your front doorstep. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes out here, truth be told, y'all soft and pudgy. And if you ain't soft and pudgy, your cardio is terrible. If there was a mass attack and you had to say you're by yourself and you had to flee because you for whatever reason, man, half of y'all bodies will be confused as to why you moving that fast. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Most dudes don't understand how to even load a firearm. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you need to be the baddest dude out here, but what I'm saying is you don't need to be the sorriest. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame for a youthful body to go to waste. And I'm gonna be honest, if you under the age of 65, you're youthful. So that excludes the elderly, right? And includes pretty much everybody out here. Most people they just have bad eating habits, and they don't really care enough about themselves to do the correct thing because it's hard to be disciplined. So when it comes to being a man, obviously you're going to be held to a higher standard. Men and women are not equal. They weren't designed to be equal. And anybody that tells you that men and women are equal is out their rabbit mind. You get what I'm saying? Now that's not to say women don't provide value. That's not what I'm saying. And there's always gonna be some sucker that run off saying that. Ignore them. They're part of the problem. They're distractors from the message getting to you. You feel what I'm saying? As a man, you're called to a higher purpose because you are made in the image of Yah. That's why it matters what you do more than it matters what she does. Now, that's not to say what she do don't matter, in the sense of she can run around doing whatever. It's actually on the contrary. You set the standard based on how the creator called you to put it in place. So now that's enough on the physical because that's probably the easiest, most obvious one, right? Unless you just oblivious to information or you've just been ignoring information this whole time, right? And don't let nobody tell you that you're not judged by your appearance. You definitely are, right? And anyone that says you're not is a liar. Um, so I'm gonna touch on this financial part. As a man, here's the thing about financial wealth, right? Everyone's financial goalpost is different. It all depends on the lifestyle you want to live. So don't let no man sit up here and tell you, matter of fact, don't let no broad tell you if you ain't making 200,000, 500,000 a year that you ain't worthy of her time. What? Man, you better off looking her directly in her eye and just walking off. Truth be told, it ain't no need to resort to violence or name calling. That's toxic femininity, right? And let's here's another thing. Let's stop calling women masculine. They not masculine. Let's stop calling these toxic bras masculine because us as real men of integrity, real men of purpose and standard, we're masculine. These bras are toxically feminine. So let's stop doing that. So if you and then think about statistically making 200, $500,000 a year, you're already in the 1% of the world. So and then on top of that, you got these women compiling all these different criterias, combining them and compounding them, and she's looking for a man that she ain't gonna never find. So if you're a man and all you want is a nice home, a paid off car, man, then that's your financial goal, and don't let nobody deter you from getting that. And that's what you're comfortable with, then that's what you're comfortable with. But at no point should another man be able to knock you off your square, and dang sure don't let no broad tell you what you need to be doing. Now, I will say this: that is not an excuse for you not to live up to your full potential. That's not what I'm saying. Because I know it's a lot of suckers out here that's gonna say, "See, I knew I didn't have to do all that." No, nigga, you live up to your potential. If your potential is 100,000 a year, nigga, you need to go make 100,000 a year. If your potential is 1 million a year, nigga, you need to go touch 1 million a year. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying don't sell yourself short, but also don't be running around, chasing other people's standards. That's what I'm saying. And that's another thing. It's too many men out here chasing the validation of people when you need to be chasing the validine of the Most High. That's why ain't nothing wrong with validation. But it do matter where you get it from because his standard don't change. The Most High standard don't change, but people's do because they're constantly influenced by the world trends. So the true measure of a man financially is how much has he lived up to his potential. You get what I'm saying? Because not everybody want to have to go set up an LLC and then be taxed as an S corp and go through all these tax filings when that time come and hire all these different people and then list all the members of the business and worry about margins and all that. Not everybody wants to do that, and that's okay if it stresses you out to the point that it starts to slow you down in other areas. But if you're fully capable of it and you have the willingness and and the determination and the mind to do so, boy, what you waiting on? And I'm not even gonna speak too much on the financial because, like I said, another obvious one. All of these should be obvious, right? So, lastly, I'm gonna touch on it spiritually, and the mentally is gonna be tied into it because spiritually, if you're on point, you mentally on point, right? So, As it says in the scriptures in Ecclesiastes, chapter, I think it's chapter 12. Actually, let me go on and flip to it real quick, and I don't even wanna, I don't even wanna mislead y'all, man, cause we gonna get into it, and we gonna go and get into it, cause this needs to be said, and I know a lot of y'all cats out here don't even read the scriptures no way, or you just go to a couple of them instead of reading the whole thing through and through. But to each his own. We all gonna have to give an account for the way we lived our lives, both uh, on Judgment Day and while we here on this earth as well. So I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, and it says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." Nigga, your whole purpose is to be righteous. Your whole purpose is to hate evilness and avoid wickedness. But a lot of y'all dudes, y'all too caught up on how people feel and think about you versus how the creator think about you. Remember how I said that validation seeking? It matter where you get it from. A lot of y'all dudes can't control y'all lust even for a day, even for a week. We talking about we in a society where dudes struggling every single day, and you're gonna be tempted. But I ain't talking about the temptation. I'm talking about you fall into the temptation every day. And here's the thing: people say, "Well, everybody has their own journey." You can. Some people it takes 20 years. Man, you denying the power thereof. The Most High living Yah, the one I serve, man, it don't take him 20 years to fix you. You keep giving yourself back over to the foolishness. That's what's happening. Stop saying he ain't trying to fix you and can't fix you right then and there. He definitely can. You just love evilness too much. Just admit it. I'd rather you admit it than sit up here lying to yourself. You can't even move forward until you tell yourself the truth. Your whole purpose is to be a leader and the head of things, but yet you putting the kids over yourself, you putting the woman over yourself, you putting everybody over yourself, but the Most High, but His living and true word, Yah Yahshai. You doing everything but what you supposed to do. You running around trying to please the broad. Whole time you turning your back on the Creator and yourself, who made you in His image. You really got to do some self reflection, cause nigga, you backwards. And that's the problem with a lot of cats out here. Y'all priorities messed up. Y'all worried about the wrong thing all the time. How y'all running around with no integrity about yourself? Liars. Run around sleeping with men's wives. Because let's be honest, if every man decided to stand on some principle, the world will change literally overnight. And that's not, like I said, that's not to say we shouldn't hold these brides accountable. We definitely should. Matter of fact, you should put your foot on her neck, not physically, right? You should run your house with an iron fist. Man, forget when niggas tell you you need to let your bra have all this freedom. That's exactly what the scriptures say not to do. And modern America is a prime example of that. The whole place running rampant, and everybody wondering how it got this bad. Well, look at where the transition happened, and look at how it continued. You get what I'm saying? So allowing a man to sit up here and tell you that you too hard on people. No, nigga, I just got a standard about myself. And so should you. That's why people don't respect you. You don't demand it of yourself. Sit up here talking about some you too hard on them. What? Man, you ain't hard enough. Soft and pudgy. Pushover. Roll over. Stepped on and done over. That's what I'm saying. You can't keep running around letting people tell you how the creator called you to live and they don't even know him. Come on, man. Y'all dudes still running around partying and drinking, out clubbing and singing. Like, man, go sit yourself down somewhere and go self develop. At some point, man, you gonna have to grow up. And people say today, oh, you don't grow up until you're 25. Man, that's cap. That's to say that everybody in history hasn't grown up to their 25. Man, it was dudes running whole families by the time they was 18, man. But that's what happens when you run behind modern narratives that just don't even make an ounce of sense. What are you talking about? Come on, dog. So when it comes spiritually to the true measure of a man, you have to hate evilness and hate wickedness. Stop eating all these unclean foods and then wondering why you got all these health problems. Stop inviting riotous men and whorish women into your life and wondering why you got all these problems. You get what I'm saying? People question why they got all these issues going on in their life and why they get no. And when I say issues in life, I don't necessarily always mean financial issues. See, a lot of people always run to that. No, 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 no. You don't have peace of mind, right? You're constantly stressed out. You constantly don't have sanity, right? Right? You can't be alone with yourself for no type of time because you feel empty inside. That's what I'm talking about. It's too many people that care about how much money somebody got whole time. The American dollar is finna crash anyway. Especially if you ain't transitioning into something of true value, like holding it in some form of commodities, some form of real estate, even though that's in a bubble, quite frankly, as well too. Or like, hell, even a stable coin. But even the government trying to tear crypto down. But my whole point is, y'all priorities messed up, man. And in order to understand the true measure of a man, you got to understand what the Creator commanded you to do and how to be. And until you search that out through the scriptures, excuse me, until you search that out in the scriptures, you'll never know the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, this your boy D Got Sense with episode 11, The True Measure of Man. Peace.